Here we go. Who the hell are you, man? Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
We are the knights!
Hold on to your butt.
And now for something completely different.
Hello out there, welcome to the Knights of Nerds Do podcast. We're a podcast for all things nerd. My name is Chris. I'm here with...
We're back. It's John.
And I also like to get retconned in past episodes. It's Sean.
I missed that one.
Yeah, we'll bring it up.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
It's part of our first topic that we're going to talk about.
We're back, everybody.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
It has been a meaningful few weeks. I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
I don't know, but you know what? There's something that we got to talk about really quick, right off the bat. We're going to talk about the elephant in the room. Chris, where's Sam?
Damn. Oh, I forgot. I honestly don't know. I forgot to mention he's in Detroit somewhere.
Sam-
The bad side of Detroit.
Oh, yeah.
Sam is entering the Speed Force.
Oh, okay. Well, Godspeed, Sam.
He's working on the editing for that movie. Specifically the special effects.
Oh, boy. All right. So...
All right. What's So it's been a few weeks. It's been a hot minute. There's been some vacation, some sick time,
Yes.
some inabilities to get together, some employment opportunities for some people.
Yes.
But yeah, there's been a bunch of stuff that we have had happen over the past few weeks, and we have some trailers that came out. Particularly, we'll surround ourselves with the ones surrounding in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And those, Flash, Fast. I don't know, 22 at this point, or Fast and Furious 22 at this point. And what else was there? I'm already drawing a blank. Big news thing for a movie theater.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And
What we're talking about, yeah.
We'll be talking about a movie, Barbarian, and then we'll be doing Last of Us, right?
Yeah,
Am I
I'm
missing
talking.
some stuff?
Well, the other big news that we never covered because we weren't potting was the announced DC slate from James Gunn, which we'll dive into. But first, trailers.
Yes.
America's pastime, almost as big as football.
America's biggest franchise, Fast and Furious.
Yes, returning for the X installment.
For the final
For
ride.
part 1 of 2.
Is
right?
it a part 1 of 2?
I think it's part 1.
It says like the end of the trailer was something like was it the last ride begins now, or like the first?
Yeah,
Something
that's what
like
makes
that.
me think it's the first
I definitely
of 2.
feel like it's been split into 2.
If you're not last, it's first.
So
the Ricky Bobby.
no, I didn't know this trailer was even close to happening at this point.
Chris, they had a literal party for the trailer, like a premiere for the trailer.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Okay, then I honestly I haven't been zoned out from news for a long time. So when we took weeks off, I took weeks off mentally. You mentioned to us in the text, because I think you texted us. It's like it's a 4-minute trailer, and then I texted back something about, I forget what it was, but you wanted to go in cold turkey, not watch the trailer. Did you end up watching it?
I mean, I saw the commercial. I started watching the trailer, and I'm like, what is the point? Really, what is I know I'm going to go see it in theaters.
Yeah.
What is the point?
Yep, fair enough.
just like flash the Fast X, and that's it. That's all you need for a
do
trailer.
you know who's in it?
Yeah, I saw Momoa. I mean, how could you not?
So
Well, they was in the beginning, but then they like build
that's
out.
that's where I brought up, like, that's where my intro came from, because they retconned him
Oh,
into past episodes.
Right, of every single movie.
Yeah. Like they were showing like Paul Walker driving, and he's like, oh, you stole my money, and like randomly showing up in all the other movies like as a background character. Yeah.
I loved that. I saw a little bit of the trailer, and that's what I saw.
Yeah,
And I was like, no, I'm good.
Them retconning a bunch of stuff.
This is one of those like film franchises where I'm like, yeah, retcon everything. I don't care. Like, just be like, oh yeah, he was there the whole time. Yeah, why not?
This is just like Japanese anime.
Yeah.
Just go
Like,
full
Make
retcon.
make Michelle Rodriguez a cyborg. She already died and came back.
That's true.
So.
Yeah, I mean, so many people have done that so far. I'm surprised Gal Gadot hasn't done it yet.
Right. Yeah. Bring her back.
But like how
It's
the
like one
Torettos just
person.
keep becoming a bigger and bigger family.
Yeah, the
and,
family
like,
just keeps growing.
they
and
keep
growing
getting
and growing
brothers
growing
and
growing.
sisters, and just like
Family.
It's just
you know, That's one thing I wanted to do with this trailer. I wanted to do a clicker of every time they say family. Because they said it a lot.
Can we do... Well, how are we going to do this in theaters?
You need
Make a
pitch
drinking
counter.
game out of this.
Oh,
Yeah.
make a drink.
Oh, God, I bet you there's
They have-
already
they-
one out
I think
there.
they have alcohol at the one near us, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
they
but-
do. I don't think you can bring outside. Well, I could throw on some Jenko jeans maybe and probably fit some.
Yeah.
Remember I used to take half gallon of milk in there.
Yeah.
You can fit a half a gallon of milk in the
I
Jenko
know.
jeans. And the S.
You bring
Red
a
ass.
bunch of nips.
Those will definitely fit in the
Just
Jenko
ripping
jeans.
Fireball. Pitbull would have liked
Fireball.
it. There's been a Pitbull song in one of these, right?
Yes, I think not Tokyo Drift. The
Havana one, right?
yes, the one.
Fifth one? Sixth?
Yes, the one with the safe where they drive the safe around.
The one
Dude,
that was
that's-
shown in the trailer.
Actually,
Yeah,
they
you're
drive
right.
the safe in the trailer.
Yes, they
You're
do.
right.
Yeah, they
Jesus,
do.
no way.
And like you see the trailer, the safe leave, and Momoa's standing there, like on the other side of the safe, like
Look.
you stole my safe.
Look,
know-
the trailer's a blur.
You know, it'd be incredible, by the way, if Momoa is actually Emperor Palpatine too.
Oh my goodness.
Somehow Jason Momoa has returned.
Um,
Like if he just has Force lightning.
I don't. Do we think there's going to be an addition of a new family member? Of course, right? Like why?
There's got
why
to be
wouldn't
a
there
family.
Yeah, or like John Cena has a kid who's like somebody.
Be? Yeah, apparently, and I don't know where I saw this. Paul Walker's actual daughter has a cameo in this.
Okay.
So, I mean, it could be incorporated into the family somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not necessarily sure, but apparently she's in it. And that's how long the franchise has been around.
I know.
I forget.
know.
In the last one,
Yeah.
Paul Walker shows up. You just
Yes.
don't see him, right?
Yes.
At the
His
end,
car.
his
Yes,
car
yeah,
pulls up.
yeah,
Okay.
so-
Yes.
Which is
I
good
need to
enough.
rewatch.
It's good enough for me.
I think I'm gonna just wait at this point because it comes out this year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
I'm just gonna wait, but I do have to rewatch the previous installment. Just a joke.
I think the very low key, the best joke running gag in that one is how Tyree thinks they're in a movie. Because they keep surviving all these things.
Oh yeah,
Like
I
that's
forgot
a running
about that.
gag. And like that's a really good running
Do you think
gag.
they're gonna do like how they used to do for like Lord of the Rings or like Harry Potter? They would just play them all. Do you think there's like a place that will do that? Because like I kind of want to go.
like
Yeah, there's a
with-
movie theater right in the room over there.
That's true. I could do it.
I mean, I do
I know,
own a
but,
couple
like-
on DVD.
No, I know.
Part of it is seeing who shows up too.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
That-
I mean, the best part was when you first went to the first like 3. You look at the parking lot and then see who shows up because it's all the Honda Civics
Yep.
with the
Right.
measly little noises,
Giant spoilers
the,
on
ba-
the
the
back.
bad fuel ratios.
Do you think that theater by the end of the like 30-hour marathon just smells like nothing but Axe body spray?
Yes.
Yeah, and a mixture of weed. Yeah, definitely.
Lots of acts.
We need to come up with a drinking game for this. We have to
Alright.
do a
Weed
drinking
and
game.
Castrol.
We need a drinking game for this movie. There has to be one.
All right.
We have to make something up. We need to get drivers to take us in normal cars. Not like a 17-year-old Chris cars. But like we need
we need the
drivers.
lights at the bottom, the LED
Do you remember
lights
those?
is glowing. Oh yeah, no, those
put
things are great.
Put the lights in the car.
Yep.
Oh,
That was like back before LED strips existed, and now you can just do it to the whole car.
yeah,
And
drain
I-
the battery.
Oh no, it runs off of its own.
No,
like,
no. I used to drain the
Oh, yeah.
battery because
Yeah.
you had to plug them into the AC.
You had to plug it into. Yeah, it was just so awful back then. But like now, it's like 2 AA batteries. It'll run for like 12 days, nonstop.
Yep.
Oh, man, to be 17 again today.
Do they still sell NOS energy drink?
Yes, they do.
I'm just gonna bring a case in that, and if they try to stop me, I'm
There
just
has to be.
First of all,
Did-
it's Monster's the big one now.
no, but NOS though because
Yeah,
it's
no one drinks NOS.
but it's
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 weird.
like the turbocharged.
I have no input because I don't drink energy drinks.
right.
Although-
I've never had a NOS, but
Yeah.
Well, you will in a couple months.
yeah, I'm gonna have like 12 of them in 30
I-
hours because that's how I'm gonna stay alive. Okay.
Okay.
Do we have any other fast takes?
I think we're all gonna see it.
Drinking game
Yeah.
TBD. We'll see what opening
Yeah,
weekend probably.
Yeah.
Ooh, that could be a drive-in.
What if we did a drive-in live podcast though?
We could do that.
We would drain every battery of every car that we had.
No. We'd bring our
We'd
own.
figure it
All
out.
I know is I can't bring the truck there because
No,
it
you
doesn't
can't.
last that
Yeah.
long.
No, it does
It
not.
did not make it the whole
No.
way. All right. Next trailer.
Next-
Fast 10 coming out.
Yeah.
Get excited.
Yeah.
So speaking of fast, The Flash. The Flash trailer. We finally got a true trailer because we did get like a teaser trailer not that long ago.
But then he got arrested like 3 times. So
Yeah.
they kind of
Yeah.
dulled down the promotion for it.
Yeah, but then we finally got one, and it's a movie.
A lot of Batman.
It's yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Michael Keaton has the "I'm Batman" line. And
Yeah.
I was like, "Woo, that's awesome."
Yeah.
So my question was: is the Christian Bale Batman in this? Because we saw someone in a scooter, a like motorbike, like
A
Christian Bale
motorcycle.
has. Yeah, motorcycle.
I don't know.
Like he has in the Dark Knight.
I have
Dark
not.
Knight Rises.
I have not delved into the
Knight.
cast for this or any kind of background in this movie.
Yeah.
Mostly just because I don't care.
Yeah.
But what's something I noticed with this trailer, and something that's just, I don't want to say it's genuinely concerning, but guys, the special effects in this was awful. In a good half of this trailer.
So, as we've brought up in past podcast episodes, usually when they do trailers like this, the CGI is usually half-assed.
but it's at least
it's
polished.
Not all the time. Like there are plenty of
I feel like this is a common complaint now. Is
Yeah.
just the CGI looks like crap, and when you see the movie, it doesn't look as bad.
right.
Like even Avatar.
So, I mean, remember She-Hulk, the trailer for She-Hulk? How
Yeah.
god awful that looked.
Like
Yeah.
they apologized,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And like
And then the show wasn't.
the show wasn't
as
that
bad, yeah.
bad. It was still like a little weird, but it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, but they could have fixed it too.
That's true.
In after reaction to that,
That's true.
I'm giving my reaction.
Yeah, no, I
The
know.
special effects were bad.
Yeah,
Not, I don't want to say not necessarily surrounding the Flash portion, but it was like particularly Supergirl. That was miserable. Anybody who was flying was so bad. It looked like Gumby in the air.
So there's actually an extended trailer, right? Like there was a Super Bowl spot, but there's a real trailer.
has anybody
Yes.
watched it?
No.
Yes.
I have not.
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
The
any
reason
better.
why is just like you, Chris. I did not seek out the this trailer because it's a movie that is coming out, and unfortunately, I'll probably end up seeing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, am I super excited for it? Not entirely. I'm very excited for Keaton. That's about where my excitement ends.
Yeah, but the
Because I don't know how, like, I love the Flashpoint storyline, and I don't know how this is going to handle that. And I'm afraid that it's going to handle it horribly. Not so when the Flash TV show did Flashpoint, they didn't really go into the extent of everything that happens in Flashpoint because a lot of stuff happens, and then after Flashpoint he kind of reboots and resets the entire universe. But like, you have all the pieces right now in Warner Brothers, and we'll be talking about what's coming out after this movie in just a moment. But you have all the pieces right now where you can actually do a Flashpoint movie because you have all the characters already introduced. You have Superman, you have Batman, you have Wonder Woman, you have Aquaman, like you have Shazam. I mean, you have everybody. So like, you can do it. I just don't think they will.
My Discovery app will not let me forget there's a Shazam movie coming out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
oh yeah, that
It's
trailer
like
dropped too.
all the trailers.
I like how, was it Zachary
Levi?
Levy, whatever. How he's mad at The Rock for killing Shazam, like the franchise.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah, he's not happy with The Rock because of Black Adam.
Because Black Adam was better than Shazam.
No.
Did he
Black
literally
Adam was
kill
worse.
Shazam?
No.
Oh, so why did he kill Shazam?
It's the same character.
No, it's not. So
It's the same.
have you
character.
watched Shazam?
No, I have no interest in watching.
All right,
Shazam.
so it's one of the better DC movies. Sam and I have seen it. I wish Sam was here to help me with this. It's actually one of the better DC movies, but there's like 7 chairs for all the wizards, and there's 6 Shazams. So the 7th chair is for Black Adam.
Oh, okay.
So he's part of that council.
Oh, okay.
That's where it fits in. So that's why he's tied into Shazam.
Oh.
They have the exact same powers.
Do you guys think there's any way to salvage this universe?
Well, someone has stepped into the arena to do just that, Chris.
That was a really good segue.
And you know what? I didn't intend that either.
I know you
FYI.
didn't. James Gunn announced way
Of
back in
Scooby-Doo
January,
fame.
yes, of Slither fame,
Yeah.
of dating Jenna Fisher fame, announced, or who is now the co-poobah of the DC cinematic universe.
Mm-hmm.
Although he refers to it as the DCU. Which, what does that mean? Is that the DC universe? I guess?
DC Universe, including cartoons and everything.
Yeah. Animated.
Right.
Everything.
Show-
shows, movies.
Everything.
All IP.
everything
at HBO.
Detective
the whole
Comics.
Shazam.
Everything. Yes.
So he announced a slate of movies and shows that, as someone who, I barely know any Marvel stuff and I know way less DC stuff, I had like no idea what half of this is. Could I
Okay.
read you just some of these very quickly?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Because I think it's been a while.
Well, read off the list, and then if you have any questions,
All right.
shoot them towards the comic readers.
First off, did you guys watch the video of him announcing these things?
no,
No.
I did not.
I actually thought it was interesting. It was very unique to me because it's like him just being like, "Hey, here's our new," like it was almost like it wasn't the like Apple announcing an iPhone like we have. Like it was just like, "Hey, this is I thought this was a cool thing. I hope you like it," kind of thing.
Okay.
I'd recommend checking out that video. But
Sounds
Here's-
like he's probably trying to get reaction first before proceeding with projects.
well, no, I mean like they're announcing, and
everything's ready to
They've
go.
got other stuff cooking. I mean, I think like who's involved is probably a little bit different, but anyway, I'm gonna just kind of speed run this. Creature Commandos, which is gonna be a 7-episode animated series written by Gunn. Waller, a spin-off of Peacemaker, which is gonna be a live action show. Interesting. Superman Legacy, which is gonna be a movie that Gunn is gonna write, but not starring Henry Cavill. Lanterns, which is going to be it's going to be a Greg Berlanti. Oh no, sorry, that's been scrapped.
Oh, okay.
All right. I mean, Berlanti? All right, let's go.
This plays a really big role leading into the main story we were telling across. I don't know if this is a movie or TV.
What?
Oh,
Lanterns?
I think this is a TV show. Yes,
Yeah. I believe that's the TV show, yeah.
Live action.
says Peter Safran, who's the other co-CEO. Our vision is for this very much in the vein of True Detective, which interesting take. The Authority, a movie based on a team of superheroes with rather extreme methods of protecting the planet that first originated in the 1990s.
Cartoon?
No, a movie. So there you go.
Okay, movie. All right.
Paradise Lost, the duo described this HBO Max series as a Game of Thrones style drama set on the all-female island that is Wonder Woman's birthplace. Themyscira.
Yeah.
The Brave and the Bold, which is going to be a Batman about Bruce Wayne and his son Damian Wayne as Robin.
Yep.
Which that sounds cool to me.
Live action?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like movie. Like that's the like DCU Batman.
Okay.
So he's also saying, okay, we have this sort of like continuation of the DCU, but then we're going to go off into, some own like unrelated things.
Elseworlds.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Elseworlds. Yeah. One of which is going to be a sequel to The Batman.
Right.
Last year's The Batman.
Right.
And then, we also have the Joker movie, which they actually just released a still today.
Yesterday. For
Yesterday.
Valentine's Day.
Of course.
Yeah. So, what's his
You
face?
guys are
Lady
you guys
Gaga
are
and-
soaking all this in, aren't you?
Joaquin
yeah.
Phoenix.
Well,
Like-
no, the director,
Todd Phillips.
Todd Phillips, yeah, he said Happy Valentine's Day, and he
I
posted
put that
a
on
picture.
Instagram.
Yeah,
that
posted
sounds
the
about
picture
right.
of like Joker up really close to Harley Quinn.
Then there's some like other stuff that like I just no idea what this is. Booster Gold.
Yes, Booster Gold. I do know who Booster Gold is.
It's going to be an HBO Max series.
Yes.
There's going to be a Supergirl series.
Yep.
There's going to be a Swamp Thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's going to be a horror film.
Yes.
And that's the list I had.
Swamp Thing was a movie in the 80s. There's Swamp Thing and Swamp Thing 2. They are
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll trust you on that
But they
one.
also did the season-long.
They did do
TV
a
show.
season, which absolutely love that theme song. Such a great theme song.
The
Like,
show did not
show
apparently
did
get
not
good
do well.
reviews.
No, it did not. I never gave it a shot, but I've listened to that like intro theme, and it's a banger. When it comes to like movie themes.
What do you guys think? Because it seems like there's a mix. I would say there's more somewhat obscure
Yeah.
things there. I mean, you have a Wonder Woman based movie, you have a Superman movie, you have a Batman movie. I mean, we are getting The Flash, we are getting Shazam, we are getting Aquaman 2 that's kind of already announced, already baked in.
Aquaman, from what I understand, Aquaman 2 is the last of the
Pre-gun?
original.
Yeah.
But Flash, Shazam, Fury of the Gods, and Aquaman 2, forget what the title of that one is, but
Too Wet.
Too
Way of
Wet,
Water.
Too Furious, Way of the Water.
Something
but
fishy.
Those three movies. Anyways, those three movies are what is going to lead into
Yeah.
this. So it's not a hard reboot.
Yeah, and I think they're like going to, after the fact, shoehorn some stuff in to kind
Yeah.
of set it up more versus
Right.
like what the movies would have been otherwise.
Right.
Which we'll see.
Did he see Peacemaker season 2?
I think that's already been greenlit.
That's
Okay.
been great.
All right.
I think that might have even been shot already.
So you're absolutely right. We have a bunch of A team, a B, maybe 2, but you're dabbling into C level stuff here.
yeah.
Like you're doing,
It's
like
weird.
obscure.
It's like he's dabbling into Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
territory.
Right?
Well, that's
Yeah, he is,
That's
but-
the comparison everyone's making.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not, and that's like even the Eternals. But look how that turned out too.
Wow,
So
yeah.
Eternals was that. I mean,
Yeah.
Marvel's TV shows. There was a bunch of sea level stuff too, and if he's pulling for that, good for it. But
So
take caution, James. Like take caution. Some of these things that you're talking about are gonna have balloon budgets, only because of the context into which they are. They're made. Like some of these are interstellar or planetary, which to me means big money. Lanterns is going to be big money because of just the nature of what they are.
yeah.
And that's a TV show.
And that's a TV show. And you got to be careful because certain TV shows can get like obnoxiously large with prices. Obviously refer to Game of Thrones. But if you can utilize or at least get in touch and try sort of like talk to Berlanti in such a way, because the Berlanti verse was like cheaply done, but it still like had this massive fan base that's still around. You got to find a way to hit a good medium, because a lot of the stuff that you mentioned are going to require big bucks. You get a new Batman, whoever is cast is going to ask for a lot of money because it is Batman.
Right.
Because it is Batman.
Yeah, but it's Batman. It's going to make a lot of money.
You think, but
Batman's a huge draw.
Okay, so now we're also falling into this.
Like
You're going to try.
It's like Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
you recast Wonder Woman.
you literally talk about the two biggest superhero like characters. It's Spider-Man and Batman.
No, I get it. I
So,
get it.
Like it's gonna make money even if
But-
it sucks.
but
look at Batman and Robin.
As a comic book fan and movie fan right now,
Mm-hmm.
there are how many Superman in this thing? Like you already know that one universe is kind of fallen apart.
Yeah.
And you're trying to rebuild it or at least spin it into another. And then you're just kind of like the movie product has essentially been the same for a while. It's the same big fights at the end. And granted, Marvel does contribute to that as well.
Yeah.
But like you're getting into this whole, I want something different, but I'm maybe getting something different. And then you have these Elseworld things. It's like you're going to attract one crowd. You are not going to attract our parents who could like Dark Knight. My parents like The Dark Knight. They think that's a good movie.
I think
But you throw what's the other Batman? Something Beyond.
Beyond.
Teen Titans.
No, what's the
Brave
new
and the
Batman?
Bold?
Brave and the Bold. Sorry, Brave and the I was thinking of B. But Brave and the Bold is coming out. Like, that's going to be a new Batman.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you have the other Batman is getting a second movie in Elseworlds.
Right, and
You know,
Joker is technically
it's
in
just-
that universe.
It's just
Right.
you're almost
and we have
like,
two Batman, at least two Batman in this Flash movie.
and Keaton's going to be in this one. So you're kind of losing people at some point.
I
where-
don't think so.
I think you are. I will. Time will tell. But
Oh,
I
yeah.
think with
I mean,
all of
if
these
it-
different things, you're
Yeah.
gonna lose some people.
I honestly think the issue with Warner Brothers and Detective Comics, when it comes to their properties, is they put all their eggs in the basket that was the Zack Snyderverse, and it just failed, and so they started branching out and trying to do other things, and that stuff worked, and for whatever reason, they're still trying to hold on to that Snyderverse.
Well,
spin
it's
it
not that
into
they're
something
looking
else.
for a Snyderverse. It's they want a new connected universe.
Right. And unfortunately, movies like Aquaman or Shazam or
Black Adam.
But I think
not
they're
Black
like
Adam. But those movies were a success. Or Suicide Squad. That
was-
not
yeah.
the Suicide Squad, not the original. How those movies were successes. They were seen as like either like a good to great movie, and it sucks as a studio to have those kind of properties and want to reboot everything, but know that those properties can make you more money. And it's just like they're in such a shitty situation when it comes to rebooting everything. I do trust James Gunn with rebooting all this. James Gunn has never steered me wrong when it's come to like anything. So I trust him. It's really hard because they are keeping, like Amanda Waller, Peacemaker from the
Yeah.
Suicide Squad. That's sticking around. But they're getting a new Batman. They're getting a new Superman. They're getting, new Green Lanterns and whatnot. So, like, it really sucks that Warner Brothers and DC are in this situation.
they're trying something. They're trying to work their way out of
They're
it.
trying to,
right.
yeah,
they're
trying to save
digging
this.
their way out of this hole, which is like props to them for not just doing the hard reset, waiting
Yeah.
like 3 years, like Sony keeps doing to Spider-Man. So like props to them for doing that, but like it's a mess, and it's gonna take a lot for me to hop on the DC train and be like, yeah, nope, they know what they're doing. But like you said, John, with some of these projects, I am very interested in a lot of them.
Yeah, I'm intrigued, and what I like, and of course, we get kind of fed this a lot with the Marvel movies, and then they all end up like 90% the same. Of like, oh no, Doctor Strange is actually kind of a horror movie and stuff like that. But like, I don't, the video he's in that James Gunn is kind of announcing these. I want to say he does hit on or say the words like superhero fatigue, and with that in mind, trying to give you something differentiated enough, property to property that like makes it justify its existence and not just like, well, we need you to come show up 3 times a year and watch this HBO Max
Yeah.
show.
I think I think he knows superhero fatigue. I mean, if you're stupid if you're blind to it at this point.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm so skeptical about this. However, it is properties that I would like to see. So
Yeah. What my only concern is just like, I like James Gunn. I think Guardians has been good. Right? Well, because we got a new one coming out. But I mean, second one's fine. First one's pretty good, especially for what it is. It's really
Holiday
good.
special was pretty good.
Yeah, Holiday Special is fine. Really like Suicide Squad. I've really enjoyed Peacemaker, or I thought Peacemaker was very solid. They are, though, of a certain similarity of the sort of like very tongue-in-cheek and like,
almost dirty humor.
yeah,
almost.
like almost black comedy sort of thing, dark comedy.
Definitely Suicide Squad.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Even Peacemaker.
Yeah, exactly. So it'd be interesting to see him stretch his roots. Like that guy making or spearheading the Superman movie, which I guess he's gonna write and possibly direct.
Yeah.
That's an interest. Like I'm curious. I really want to see what his Superman movie is like.
Because we have seen a intro to Superman so many times.
Right.
We've
We
also seen a
understand
lot
what
of
the story
Superman.
is.
We've also seen a lot
Well,
of Superman.
I mean, when it comes to DC Comics, I mean, they know who their main money makers are, and for some reason, they pump out like 3 of them, and then they reboot them.
yeah.
Like, it's Superman, it's Batman, and then kind of Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
You know
Well, I
what's,
think
you
that's-
know what's
I don't-
not on that list? Arrow.
No, he's never going to be on that list.
It's the one thing. It's like the best TV show,
It was.
live action
no,
TV show for DC, probably ever.
It helped to that, Stephen Amell, like, he was a superhero in real life. Like, he did the Iron
the
Man
stuff
thing.
with the stuff he's done.
Yeah, no, like, he does all that stuff. Like, he keeps himself in amazing shape. He's a real life
Well, he's
superhero.
Hulk. He's playing Hulk.
He's what?
He's playing the Hulk.
Afraid what?
I forget what movie it is, or is it a movie or TV show? But he's playing the Hulk.
Oh God.
Okay. Really quick. One other thing in news that we got to talk about here.
Oh God, yeah.
AMC, the wizards
Yeah.
of disruption of movie theater. AMC, we for a day we're gonna let people use cell phones or encourage people or be fine with people using cell phones until like the world screamed at them and they changed their mind. Are introducing, what are they calling it? Variable pricing?
Yeah.
Or
It's called. Hold on, I had it up because I thought it was just a stupid word, but
essentially they're going to say, okay, you're going to pay for the quality of seat inside the theater. So, if you're sitting in the front row, you're paying
called the
less.
Sightline program.
Sightline program, where, if you're sitting in optimal seating, which is usually like center towards the back-ish,
They're mimicking the
middle to
concert
back.
theater
Yes.
Right.
pricing
I mean,
model.
of literally any other entertainment venue of,
Right.
the better seats you got to pay more for, which I kind of understand, but like,
Talk about not making people want to go see movies anymore.
Right. Oh yeah.
Right.
Look.
I-
As a sports fan and a music fan, I would love to go see like hockey, baseball, football games. It's too expensive. Way too damn expensive. And to get a good seat, like you're dishing out a ton of money
well,
And
this is $2, to be fair.
for now.
Good point. Very good point.
And everybody's been talking about it, and it happened last year. They were talking about the quality of movie. The price goes up. So the new Marvel movie that comes out has a higher price.
Oh, is
over
this-
the
Are they doing this as well? I thought this was sort
no,
of...
that was
yeah.
being talked about.
Okay.
So that
Yeah.
sooner rather than later is
Right.
probably going to happen sooner
Yeah.
because the discussions that's been happening
mean,
over the year.
I don't know. I kind of get that more than anything else, of like $20 to go see Spider-Man opening weekend versus like, okay, if it's, I don't know, some Oscar bait mid-tier movie, it's like $12. Like I just kind of get that. I mean, I don't know.
I get that, but a family of 4 to go see a movie right now, that's it. You like to go.
Well, it's $15, so it's $60 for tickets.
$60 for the tickets, and then obviously, if you have kids, they want popcorn, they want a drink. I mean, you could be the parent that like is like, no, you're not eating, but like, come on, it's a movie theater. This is a special situation.
But isn't like doing anything like just $100
pretty much.
if you have a family of 4?
No, but
Like it's gonna be $20 doing. I mean, if you go
Right.
out to eat, that's
so, but that's what it's at right now.
right.
Is what I'm saying.
Well, I mean,
It's already expensive
Well,
to go see
kids
a
eat
movie.
free at the 99 after Red Sox win.
there you
True,
go.
there you go.
There you
I'm gonna eat
go.
at the 99 more often.
I just because it's on the side.
Oh, I
when you-
know,
when you
and I
drive
hear
by.
it on like Sports Hub Radio all the time.
Sorry,
I
A little
don't-
tangent right there.
I don't imagine this being a policy that's instituted for long.
I
If
can't.
for anything else, like, I mean, there's so few movies that I feel like are regularly sold out now that why not just, and obviously assigned seating is the big part of this, is that, but no one, people are just going to go pay for the cheap seats and just go sit in the good seats.
What?
Who's going to enforce this?
Here's a question I have for everyone. Last movie you saw opening like opening weekend, or I not even opening night. We'll say Thursday or Friday. Thursday, Friday. That's the day it opened. What was the last movie you guys saw?
I'd have to pull up the movie thing. The movie.
You're struggling with that, right?
Oh, I mean, I know I saw the Northman freaking opening night,
Okay.
which I regret, but still.
I mean, I saw Spider-Man like that Monday, and I think it was still
I'm talking Friday
packed.
night.
Yeah, I know.
Thursday, because it's starting like 4:00 on Thursdays is like the first showing.
Last one I know for sure I saw was either like Dune or like stuff last year.
Dune was opening weekend for me, like Saturday, I think. But
Okay, so the last movie I saw opening night was the last Star Wars movie.
was that when we waited in line?
No. This is so I paid extra for this one because I was like, you know what? I didn't have kids at the time. It was pre-pandemic because I saw the pandemic coming in December of 2019. But it was like a package for like $30 a person. You got like an all-you-can-eat buffet, unlimited drinks. You got a gamer card so you could go into the arcade and just play for a while. I think it was like unlimited bowling and laser tag. And then you got like a bunch of like cool things, free popcorn, free
I'm
drinks.
just like,
go in.
I love how much this is oriented to someone who's 14.
Oh no.
And you as a 30-year-old,
and,
what?
and me and every other person who
Right.
went being in their 30s.
Right.
We but like
Get all the laser tag you
it
want.
was fun. Yeah, like I didn't play laser tag. I didn't do bowling. I did play the video games because like you have the card. Like I'm gonna forget about it anyway.
Sure,
so
of
might as well
course.
play the Jurassic Park game where I get to shoot dinosaurs for like.
Anyway,
20
where
minutes.
are you going with us?
No, it's just like how often do you guys actually go see opening weekend movies?
Well, it's a time thing, but like back when we didn't have kids in
Yeah.
college, high school, we were there all the time.
Yeah.
Opening weekend, like
No,
opening
I know.
night.
Yeah, I'm trying to like think when I'm gonna go see like what the next movie I'm gonna see. Opening
Well, it's
weekend.
Ant-Man, but
No, I'll probably wait till Tuesday.
See, I just like going to see movies during the week just so much
Yeah.
better.
I feel like that's something now that we're older, we're understanding more. Is hey, if we go during the week, there's no one there.
Yeah, it really breaks up a weekend
Oh,
otherwise.
it's so nice. That's why I love going on Tuesdays. It's a cheaper ticket.
assigned
and there's
seating
no one
helps
there.
too. With
It does.
because have to wait in the line and everything.
I remember going see Black Panther opening weekend.
Actually, I think I might have seen.
I was
Civil War.
stuck up
Civil
front.
War was a long line.
Yeah.
that was a long
That was
line.
brutal.
I think Babylon might have been opening weekend. I don't know. There were people in the theater, so I think it might have been opening weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Friday.
No, it's look, AMC. I get why they need money. They need money. AMC definitely
it's a
needs
failing-
money. It's
yeah.
it's and I want them to succeed. Like I really want theaters to stick
The problem
around.
is with AMC is they're already rip-off artists. They already cost way too much. compared to
and it's
everything
not,
else.
Yeah.
Like AMC is when I think movie theaters in cities, it's usually the AMC
yeah.
stuff. So their rent is expensive, obviously. So they're and they're big corporations, so that means they have to take a lot of debt to pay off some of this stuff.
Yeah.
And you look at our local theaters, and even Showcase is the other one.
Yeah.
In Regal, they're in locations that are relatively affordable, and you don't see them struggling with these types of scenarios.
Well, I mean, Regal did just commit their declare bankruptcy, but other
Yeah, but there are other ones around too. You
Regal's
know what
a huge
you know
company,
what
by
you
the
know
way.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's and they're functioning on their own. I think.
But you're right,
I think
AMC is
AMC
usually-
is.
in the big mall or the city or something.
Right.
Yeah, and
Right.
unfortunately, AMC I think is past the point where, Showcase updated their seats and Regal updated their seats, their viewing, and then they
Yeah.
increased alcohol. I think one of the Regals has a coffee shop in it. I mean, like they increased the experience to make it better. AMC has they're past the point where they can't actually take out the money to spend to do that.
Yeah.
And
I think
not
a lot of them were nicer though.
And not to mention they don't have this like the AMC theater in 86th Street in New York City was a dump.
Yeah.
I mean, I went there all the time, but it was a dump. And I don't think charging people premium per seat is the way necessarily to do this. I think maybe stick with the things that the local hockey team does, which is, you spend $20 on a ticket, you get a free popcorn.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, I get you're making money on the popcorn, but you're paying for the popcorn. They still need the 26-ounce can of freaking Pepsi.
Well,
I don't
yeah, I mean, they're
follow-
only making money on the popcorn.
No,
yeah.
I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. But there's other incentives. Yeah, at this point, you just want people to go.
Yeah.
At this point, you just want people to
So
go.
I don't follow AMC at all because I have no reason to go there because there's none.
We don't have
close
any
to me.
around,
Yeah.
yeah.
But for a movie like that, like you said, John, you're making bank on popcorn anyways. But
Well, I mean, that's how you make your money.
right,
like,
no,
you
I know. So that's how they're gonna make their money. So jacking up their prices probably not the best idea. But I do agree with you, Chris. Let's say I go to the local hockey team. It's AHL, not NHL. I go there. It's in the city, and it's a Thursday night, and it's like, hey, free hot dog night.
Yeah.
Cool. It's an incentive to bring people. Are they losing money on those hot dogs? No. Those hot dogs probably cost them in general,
But it's
50 cents.
Yeah, it's not the
this-
same business model though, because they have to
no, I
give
know.
50% of the ticket sales, which is funny because I don't know if it's written a different way because this is a premium experience or something like that. But it's funny just to think that they're paying $2 more for the ticket for the good seats. The movie theater's only going to get $1 of that.
Right.
Right. So it's literally charging you an extra $1 to piss you off and for $1.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I think it's an experiment more than anything else. I don't know how widespread it's going to end up being, but people are not happy.
I would be very surprised if it doesn't happen.
But honestly, people aren't going to movies anyway, so don't even listen to people.
Yeah, it's there's certain. I don't know. I just think there's certain things you could do to make the experience better for people. I think I forget what we went to go see, but they had a comic book store guy in the middle of the Lincoln, the cinema world. He had remember what?
Yeah, for
it
some
was?
of the premieres they do that.
But
Yeah.
he had it. He had
So
a
My
table
Friendly-
set up.
My Friendly Neighborhood comics.
Yes,
Yeah.
you could buy comic book merchandise.
Yeah.
From that store.
Yep.
And you were going to see the movie, and it was packed. There were
Yeah.
people there.
I think that was probably Endgame or
How much?
Infinity Wars
How
or
much money
something.
do you think they spent? How much money do you think Cinema World spent to ask a store to go
Right.
sell their products in their
And
building? Probably nothing.
They definitely paid nothing because I guarantee you, Friendly Neighborhood Comics paid them.
Yeah,
probably.
or yeah, or
But,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's just make the experience a little bit better. Get a local, not a local celeb, but
You know what would be-
get stuff associated with the opening weekend.
So it sounds weird, but just popped in my head. I mean, I'm staring at some of the pops that I have on the wall here in the podcast room, but I would say over the past, we'll say 10 years, there have been a huge influx of pop culture collectibles. Movie theaters should open a store.
I think it's overhead too. Overhead's a tricky part.
Maybe.
But what if the movie sucks? No one's going to buy any of it.
Well, no. So
Are you talking sort of build a basic inventory, sell pops, collectibles,
collectibles, stuff
but also
like that.
apply for those exclusive things?
Yes, yeah. So Target has an exclusive pop, or I have a Reggie's pop that I believe is Walgreens exclusive, that kind of stuff.
That's a Star Wars guy with 3 eyes.
He is part of in Jabba's palace.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I mean certain things are like that, not just pops, but other things. I mean, hell, you can open a store with just T-shirts or what
Yeah, I don't think
know.
any of this is going to replace just the movies being available in 45 days. So I'm
Yeah.
just going to
Yeah.
skip the theater and not listen to my podcast and
Yeah, we're
wait
past.
and just watch it at home.
Unfortunately, I think we're past the point of, you have to see the movie because of the drop.
And if I'm Gen Z, I'm not even watching it because it's longer than 45 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's
I do
that's
think
that. Wait, that's the generation after
Millennials.
millennials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think that, like you said, John, with the whole 45 days, it's just that that is kind. I would say that hurts the big guys more than the small guys because
Big
like
movies or
AMC
theaters?
AMC
Okay.
like type theaters that hurts them because I feel like on a Wednesday or Thursday at a smaller theater, like you're not going to get a massive crowd. It helps going.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is indicative of big guy, small guy, but I found Showcase has like 6 movies now. And they just
Yeah, they
have
cut back.
there's way less movies. I mean, there's way less movies being released at all,
Right.
And way less theatrical. So that that can't not be part of it. But stuff is just it's not hanging around. It's not.
It's not even starting early. Like it's some of the movies aren't starting at like 1 o'clock anymore. They're starting pushing 4 or 5
it's a
o'clock.
compression of times.
Yep.
Yeah, like there's no 11 o'clock show or 11 at night. Like it's just and it's tough too because like me during the week, like it's like, well, I'll make the 7:30 or else I'm gonna go to 10 o'clock or something.
Yeah, that's a tough.
It's only offered
such a tough
in
time
one
slot.
theater.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
all
we
right.
gotta move on.
Let's move on.
The Last of Us.
5 episodes. We've only
have,
talked about the first one or
First
two.
two.
Yeah.
First two, then.
So we don't have a lot of time to hit on these. So let's
No.
do you want to just kind of go through quick rapid reaction on each of them?
Yeah, just reactions.
So I mean, I don't remember the breakdown of what each episode has in store.
I can tell you this right now.
What?
Because I just watched 4 and 5 back to back.
What was 4?
Okay, so 3 was Nick Offerman and
Okay.
It was Bill and Frank.
Right.
Bill and Frank.
4 was
4 was they're driving to Kansas City. You start getting some of the background, and it ends like sort of midway
Right.
through the story with the deaf kid,
right.
Who they find,
Yeah,
like
and
almost in the middle
and
of a
then
shootout.
the last one was them escaping Kansas City. Okay.
Right. Escape from Kansas City. My favorite unmade John Carpenter movie.
You're not that far off.
So episode 3.
So episode 3, the story of Bill and Frank, Nick Offerman.
Bill's
and
my hero.
So like, just if you've played the games, Bill kind of interacts with both of them, Joel and Ellie, and he's very much alive in the game. In the show, he is not when they're escaping Boston.
Frank is dead in both.
Right, Frank is dead in both. So I sat down, I watched this episode. It is very much a love story. All through flashbacks. Like the whole thing is just building up to when Joel and Ellie show up to his compound. And let me tell you, guys, I like choked up at the end with the wine and everything.
Yep, with the wine.
I was like on the verge of tears. Like that. The story they gave these two characters was so emotional. Like,
Right?
it was,
And they did it all
incredible.
within an hour.
A little bit more than an hour.
Was that a little bit more than
It
an
wa-
hour?
It was like almost feature length.
Yeah, it
Or
was like
actually
an hour.
It was like
Was
an
it
hour
really?
15.
Oh,
Yeah, it was like an hour 20.
I just assumed it was an
I
hour.
I noticed it was a long episode.
yeah, but didn't feel it.
No.
I thought that was great. Like, I love that they can just throw that in there. Like, what I'm liking really about this show is how sort of like episodic, and Craig Mason's like, oh, here's a cool story, and we're gonna kind of weave it into this adventure that Ellie and Joel are going on. And I don't know. I mean, part of it too is like, did it really matter? Did we really need any of that? No.
But that's my counterpoint to how I felt. I loved the episode, but it didn't matter.
Move
We
the
didn't
story.
need it.
It didn't move
We
the story.
did not need this episode. And then we get the whole episodes with Kansas City. We don't need that episode. Like both those episodes.
Well,
Nothing
yeah, but I mean,
happens.
but what?
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens insofar as what? That nothing is altered about the main
Yeah.
characters?
Well, like their path, the character.
I think and what I think is sort of explained at the end of the last one is these stories are essentially just building the relationship between
Right.
Ellie and Joel,
To be-
regardless
yeah.
of how long the story is, something progresses in their relationship.
Right.
There's an adjustment made.
I would say in the 5th episode, you like towards the end, you do get that a little bit more, especially when they're in that bunker thing. With you see that a little bit more with that. But for the most part, like none of this stuff really matters in the grand scheme of things.
But I mean, it was such a cool.
But
episode. Just freaking like the Home Depot has everything. It just has everything.
But like also counterpoint, I don't really care what happens to them. Like, you know, the overall story is like, yeah, I'm sure they'll make it. You know,
sure,
it's a video game. It usually goes pretty much to plan. You know,
yeah, and you know what the thing, and you know what, I just keep having this like in the back of my mind because this is generally where this whole season is going to be. It's going to be for me. It's going to be compared to The Walking Dead, and The Walking Dead has these episodes within some of their seasons, like the development between a relationship, and this one. Just looking at this one specifically. Which one? Well, I mean, both of them in the end. But this one we're looking at, the 3rd episode.
Okay, 3rd episode.
Is way better than anything The Walking Dead has produced.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's
by miles.
And it's not even quality of filming. It is just
storytelling.
The storytelling
yeah.
and then the interaction.
So what you see here, none of this was in the game.
I don't care.
I don't care.
But,
yeah.
I mean, the game has its own story.
Right. What I'm saying is they didn't draw any inspiration from the game. So like, with The Walking Dead, they had the comics to fall back on to kind of pull storylines from.
Yeah.
The story of Frank and Bill, like that whole episode, like that's not in the game.
Yeah. In fact, it's way more cynical in the game.
Yeah.
He kills the guy and then they find out and stuff. Like it's not at all a happy story.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I would have been fine seeing that too, but like I just felt like I got so much more with the story they did tell, and I was just happy. I just thought it was cool. I hadn't seen anything like that in that kind of way.
Right.
I mean, you know, it's a very traditional kind of like love story, like opposite attracts, like one brings out a different side of the like.
Just everything was so good about it.
And the fact that it was also Nick Offerman in a gay love story, it was just like on its own, like just like what is going on?
Yeah, but it's I get that that's funny, but you immediately change tune when like he plays the piano.
Yeah.
Like it immediately switches from wow, this is hilarious, he's a survivalist, love it. And it's like, wait a second, he's lonely and gay, and this guy he found someone who gets him, like pairs a good wine with a duck, you know, stuff like that. And it's just your whole mode just shifts into this. Wow, this is really good. Yeah. This is really good. And then everything like this episode was really well done. Like really well written.
And I like the interlude too when Joel and I can't think of her name.
I forget her name.
Tess.
Tess show up. I thought that was cool, and like Joel having that intimate moment with Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Joel and Bill are very similar. Where they don't trust each other, and whereas Frank and Tess are like, yeah, we're all friends.
And then I just love that kind of dynamic between both of them. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily Tess and Joel, but the other guy, where it's just like you have one end of the spectrum, and then the other guy of the spectrum, where I think at one point in the episode he's like, I just want a little bit of gas for the lawnmower and some paint to paint the house, and I'm like, I'm sold. I love this. I don't care.
I love when he like storms out of the house and he's like, the government isn't all Nazis, and Hoffman's like, but the government is all Nazis. He's like, well, maybe now, but like not then.
Right? It's just
one thing too that I learned actually after that episode too. For some reason, I thought I felt like I knew this, that like HBO had been developing a Last of Us show and was like, hey, Craig Mazin, you did Chernobyl. Everybody liked that. That's kind of like end of the world apocalyptic kind of feeling. How about you do? No, like this was something he wanted to do and brought to them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which I've just really liked too, because it's not like him trying to like shoehorn an adaptation of it in. It's like these are like some like broadening stories that he wants to tell to like paint like, you know, more of a rich picture of the whole world.
And it helps that they have the creator of the video game on with them as a producer.
Yeah, and especially like helps to translate or find some solutions too for things that they can't exactly do the way the game does it, just for various reasons.
Right.
So episodes 4 and 5, which I think
combine them. Just
I think you can. I watched
easily.
them together, but then I'm like, this was like a whole episode.
yeah, no, they're the same.
What I liked about it was I can't think of the name. I can't think of the actress name. The female leader of the resistance or whatever you want to call it. I really liked all of that too. I liked that. Yeah, well, part of it, I thought actually I liked how it seemingly was sort of underexplained at first, and then they kind of only like they give you like just barely what you need, sort of. I don't know.
Which is perfect because in the end you didn't.
Right.
You didn't.
Because we're only in and out in two
yeah.
episodes. We don't need a huge world building.
Right.
We just need some like world seasonings, you know? Like
I as the leader of this city, I didn't buy it with her acting.
yeah.
She was very soft spoken and like she wasn't very menacing kind
Okay,
of
but
like,
can I give you my take on that?
Please.
Okay. I actually really thought it was a cool casting choice because, okay, mobs as a whole, right? Which is what this is, more or less, right?
Right.
They're usually pretty afraid, right? In some ways or another. Like, you know, they're not like afraid, shocked, I'm not going to come out of my house, but they're like afraid. Like, there's a overriding fear that is leading it, right? Or the cause for its being.
Right.
And I just think like her sort of manner of being is like very much of like, I'm afraid, I don't know what to do. Yeah, I guess we'll just shoot these like I'm kind of like figuring it out as I go along because it's a little like overmatched. And it kind of is because it's like apparently like I think like her brother was the leader or something like that. It sounds
Yeah, her brother was the leader. She's set on revenge and that's it.
Right.
I mean,
And
I thought it
that's-
was obviously like a little atypical,
Yeah.
but I liked it. I could understand where you're coming from though.
Okay. All right.
And you know, I can't not talk about the awesome relationship that's between Henry and Sam.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
well written. I guess it was an idea from somebody who said, "What if Sam was deaf?" And then they just like, that's it.
Yeah.
They made him deaf, and I think good call on that one. Definitely good call on that one.
Yeah.
It just made it a little bit more.
Because none of these two episodes are in the game. Like they don't like.
I
is
wouldn't
totally-
expect it. I wouldn't expect it. And frankly, I'm not sure if it's better this way, but I haven't played the game. But
Right.
they're giving me a good product.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and the fact that it's this well done and well written and actually well acted, it just I don't really care about the game at this point. I mean, you're and give me little sprinkles of the game, like that
Yeah.
scene when they're coming out of the ground,
my
whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Freaky as hell.
Well, so that's set up because they mentioned how they drove all the infected underground.
Yeah, and then she showed the scene of the circle in the ground that's kind of sunk in,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
I forget where that was.
Yeah, that went nowhere.
but it indicated
Well,
what
wasn't
happened.
that they were ready to like burst out. Though,
That's
wasn't
what
it?
you think, but like the explanation of them driving them all underground, like that's not until like the next episode. So that like all cracked ground, like just in that episode alone, just kind of was like, what is that? And then
Yeah.
never go back to it.
I think that it's a personal choice thing. I think that's cool when like because it's like what else is it gonna be though?
Yeah, well,
You know?
Well,
that's
they,
the thing. like-
yeah, they drove them underground, and then you saw. Well, you saw the circle thing first,
Right.
And it's like they drove them
But
underground,
then, like,
and
an
then you see,
hour passes.
and then you see the next episode. You see the truck crash into the ground,
Right.
and they come
And they
up
come
out
up.
of a circle. So I'm
Yeah.
like, all right,
I
two
didn't-
pieces are together now.
right. But honestly, totally forgot about that cracked ground until you guys just brought it up.
Oh, really?
I completely
That's the
forgot
first thing I
about it.
thought of once I heard like
No.
the truck crack.
Oh yeah.
No, I
yeah.
totally forgot about it.
Oh,
See, I watched it back to back,
Right,
so like
right.
that's
So
probably
for you.
part of it.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder if that was in the previously on thing. What I liked about that part too is, you know, the show has a very, like, I think it's like one of the best balanced shows of like having the like interpersonal kind of more storytelling, and then just like shit hits the effing fan and like gets real quick, you know?
Yeah.
And that's like kind of life, you know? Like it happens. I mean, that just happened to my brother, you know? Like, no. It happens like in very quick moments like that. Like you have the, you know, all the zombies coming out of the ground, or even the next day when his son turns and he's like, shit, and like
shoots him.
knows he has to kill him. Yeah.
His son's brother.
Oh, that's.
Oh,
okay,
sorry,
yeah,
not
yeah,
his son. Yeah, his brother. I keep thinking it's his son.
I know.
Yeah, so I mean, immediately kills him. And you know, not that I'm pretty sure they have a pretty emotional connection either way, but it's just it's such like an incredible moment, and then you know he just has no idea how to react to that and just kills himself. You know?
That was well done. It was well acted too.
Yeah,
Like God, you won't get this with
It's
other end of world.
honestly,
shows.
it's a really good show. It's just for me, it's like I mentioned. I do feel like we're just treading water where like
100%.
nothing is happening.
100%.
well,
It's like it's a lot of cool stories happening here or there, but they're not getting any closer to their end goal. I mean, they are based on location, but like
I
the
don't-
thing that I don't watch the next week on or the explanation of this
Sure.
episode, the thing at the end. I try not to do that because for me it kind of ruins everything. I like going in blind to the next
Well,
episode.
they don't need to explain
Right, it's
what
not like
they're
House of the
doing.
Dragon.
It's not like House of the
Isn't-
Dragon where
yeah.
they need to explain how you're supposed to feel.
Yeah.
They
isn't
do a good
though.
job.
Isn't the show though? It's more like, not to put way too fine a point on it, Mandalorian or something like that, of more of that throwback of like, here's our main characters. They're kind of thrown into these situations each week, see how they react, and you know, they kind of learn a little bit more about each other. And we have, I mean, I'll be honest, there's been some really powerful moments. Almost none of them have involved the main characters.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting.
Right.
I would say not yet. We're setting
I'm
stuff
sure,
up here,
but
'cause-
like,
yeah.
it is funny that like the moments that have stuck with us the most have not had to do with the main characters,
Right.
which is like, you don't usually just get that on a show.
no, I mean Joel's powerful moment was the first episode
Oh,
with the loss
sure.
of the
Oh, yeah,
daughter.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that.
Sure.
That is, and obviously that I would assume that takes a long
Actually,
time to open up to get
yeah.
to. And
And the moment with the with the
I would
soldier. and
I
all
would say
that.
they're building up to that. I mean, the whole every director commentary, and it's obviously with the show. It's just this relationship between Elle and Joel.
Right.
It's their relationship, and every single episode has progressed it further.
Right.
You're not. I don't hate to use a reference from Shrek, but they're peeling back the onion layers, and every
yeah,
deeper you go, you're like, okay, well, here's the moment where they're gonna connect at this kind of father daughter level,
Right.
And you know they'll essentially become a pair.
yeah, that part of the story is being slow played, and I don't mind it, but I think
Right.
it sounds like you're a little bit more frustrated with it, Sean.
I am. I
Yeah.
like. It took me a couple days to get through that episode 5.
One thing on that. Do you think there's like that big of an arc with the characters from like where we start to end with them that like we need all this development?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, my issue is, I mean, I brought it up when we first reviewed the show. Is it's the Walking Dead formula where something happens the first 10 minutes, then nothing happens for the next like 40,
Then something
and then
happens at the
something
end,
happens at
yeah.
the end. And episode 5 is very much that way.
yeah.
Like nothing happens in the middle, and I
A
got
little bit, but
so bored.
I shouldn't.
It wasn't.
I don't know
until,
if nothing happens
It wasn't
at all.
until they went underground and then went into that bunker where Joel was like, "Oh, I heard about these." That's when something actually started
Mm.
to happen, And that was like 40 minutes into the episode.
Yeah, I will admit, for me, it didn't kick off until you saw the zombies.
Yeah.
Necessarily because of that, but that's just all the big moments were at the end.
Yeah.
I would say I'm almost in agreement with those later the 4 and 5. It's like, all right, Walking Dead, people are the real enemy type thing. All right, let's kind of get going.
But I did like the world building in episode 4, the in between. 5, maybe not so much.
Right.
Okay, we need to move on. I don't think we're gonna spend a lot of time on Barbarian.
It's gonna be tough to spend a lot of time on this.
Yeah.
But.
It's a story.
I saw this 3-4 weeks ago at this point.
I watched it today.
Yeah, Chris, have you seen it?
I have seen it. Yes.
Okay.
A week ago.
Sean, would you mind kind of steering us through this one?
So it's a movie about a house, and evil things happen in this house.
written and directed
by one of the founding members of the Whitest Kids You Know, which is so weird because like another movie that he wrote and directed or co-directed was Miss March, which I have seen.
Yeah, which is not good.
It's not that great.
Yeah. I mean,
Zach Kreger.
Yeah.
Let's just say his name.
Zach
Kreger wrote and directed.
which he admits sucks.
Yeah.
But
So it starts off with two people showing up to a house, and there's a mix up. It's Bill Skarsgård and I forget the
Georgina Campbell.
Yes. So has she been in anything else?
I feel like she's on a Netflix show.
Okay. Because like she has that face where I'm like, I know you from somewhere.
Oh, Black Mirror. Yeah, she was in Black Mirror.
Yeah, that's like an episode though. Like that doesn't count.
Well, it's a Netflix show. No.
No, I know, but like, that's like being like, oh, they're on the Twilight Zone. It's like, well, they were in an episode of the Twilight Zone.
She was in Krypton.
Okay, maybe that's
for those who watched.
I did watch
Krypton.
like a couple episodes of Krypton just to be like, how bad can this get? And the answer is bad. I believe Booster Gold is in that show.
I don't even want to talk about that.
Anyways,
show. Let's...
no, so like it's they double book like an Airbnb. It's, like their lives happen, and then they're like, oh shit, there's a door in the basement. What's in here? Oh no, really creepy naked lady. And then it shoots to a brand new story about Justin Long getting Me Too'd. He goes to the house because apparently he owns it. And then he finds the thing, and there's disturbing things happen down there, and then they escape, and stuff happens.
That was.
I mean,
it's blowing through it.
I literally. I mean,
how else do you
how
do
else
this
are you
movie?
going to do this movie? So
it's broken into 3 parts.
Yeah, so,
it's the people who double book the Airbnb.
Right.
It's the owner of the house who falls down on his luck and moves back in, and then there's.
He gets Me Too'd.
He gets Me Too'd, which apparently which turns out to be accurate anyway.
Well, yeah.
And then there's like the stuff in the past that this is truly what's been going on.
You sort of get the explanation.
Yes, the explanation. It's like the 3 parts. You tick all the boxes. 1.5-hour movie, like done.
Yeah.
Horror. It was a horror suspense
horror thriller. Yep. Checked all the boxes. I saw this movie described as a great thriller with a horrible monster. And I was like, yeah, the mama, not that good of a monster.
I mean,
when you first see her, terrifying. But at the same time, it was like, those are some saggy tits.
that's... I mean,
like it's
like you almost knew what was once you saw the naked lady.
Yeah,
you almost knew.
I don't know
what it was,
but you didn't think that maybe it's like a zombie or something like that.
No way.
Okay,
no.
That's
I thought
not
it was,
where
you
my
know
mind
where,
went.
what I thought it was? A witch at first.
Did you really?
Yes.
I thought it was somebody who was a captive turned feral.
Okay, which I mean, sure,
which is close.
Pretty
it's
close to the
yeah.
explanation.
So the actual explanation, which I still don't
I didn't
quite
expect
understand.
him to still be alive, though.
Yeah, that was a weird thing of him being alive, and like who's keeping him alive because she's terrified of going in that room. So who's keeping him alive?
Was she? I didn't...
Yeah, because like she was like, no, I'm good. and like kind of walked away from the room when Justin Long's character got near the door.
Oh,
Like
Right?
she didn't want to just so like I guarantee you she's not going in that room.
Well,
Like,
he could have stored.
there is
like,
that
been-
bell though.
I feel like
there is a bell.
So that's why I think she was waiting on him, doing things for him,
Yeah,
and I think
maybe.
that's what it was. Like he
yeah.
coerced her into.
she was
being-
going out at night foraging for food and
Yeah,
I feel like this kind of movie. I wouldn't like try to beat an explanation to death. of
No,
it,
no.
You know?
So okay, so if you've seen the trailers for this movie, we'll go with that. Because I did watch one of the trailers going in, and you see the audience. It's kind of like the with Paranormal Activity.
Oh, they
where
showed
it's-
audience
they showed
reaction?
and they're like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like,
there's one.
there's
scene.
one scene where I did that, and that was the forced breastfeeding scene. And I was like, I don't need to be watching this right now. Like, this is like, I don't want to watch
Yeah,
this.
I
mean,
thought you were
I don't
talking
know.
about the jump out scare one.
Oh,
This is
no,
the first
no.
one, jump out scare. After that, you're done.
No, I was fine with
the
that jump out.
force breastfeeding was a
That
little
was
weird.
so over. Like, I was sitting in this chair working, watching it on my TV, and I was just like, I feel dirty. Like, I feel like I need to take a shower after that scene. Like, that was just so wrong. Even the bottle that she tries like giving them that the
Yeah,
girl drinks from.
yeah.
Oh my god. It was like that oversized
Just
nipple.
the oversized
thing.
nipple.
Oh.
It's just like the bulge at
It was
the end.
like so
Ugh.
comically oversized too. Like it was funny.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
I found it to be just just really like fucked up. Just like I didn't know what the hell was going on. You know, just disoriented, and you know it's. But part of the disoriented and not knowing what's going on is like us just like hard cutting to Justin Long singing in his car, which
Yeah.
I love that cut. Like I
Yeah.
love that moment.
Like in the grand scheme of things, yeah, I love that. But at the moment, I was like, what the hell? Like,
yeah, I knew there was a misdirection or there was like some kind of moment like that.
Yeah.
I was never expecting it to be
Yeah,
that.
that was
Um,
very odd because when that happened, I was like, "How are we going to tie this in?" And it's like, "Oh, he owns the property." It's like, "Oh, wow, okay, we're just going to make
Took
that
a
leap."
little while to get there.
Yeah, like, oh, we're going to make that leap of faith. Be like, she owns the house. Like that. It was like one of those pitch sessions where they were like, "But how does he tie in?" And it was like,
Yeah, there were a couple leaps of faith, but they weren't
Yeah.
like massive leaps.
No.
It's just like, all right, let's just move this along.
Yeah.
I mean, kudos to them. They did move this story along. It was not really slow.
I did like this movie and thought it was moving along really quickly up until Justin Long is introduced. That whole first section, because I knew that wasn't the end of them. Like, obviously, it was the end of Bill Skarsgård, obviously.
Why was that obvious?
Because his head gets
was
bashed in
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right. Okay.
against the wall. It's just like he
clearly showed it getting
Yeah.
smaller in the lady's hand.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
yeah.
you saw teeth flying and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
that scene was very graphic. Which I did hear like, oh, this movie's graphic, and like after watching it, I'm like, not that graphic.
What happened to Justin Long at the end? I
she
forgot how
re-
he
Puts her thumbs into
In
his
the
eyes and
eyes.
splits his head in half.
gotcha. Okay, all right.
Because apparently inbreeding gives you superhuman strength.
Who cares? It's a fucking horror movie.
Yeah, I know. No, but like, so they explain like who she is and like,
Or at least they indicate.
Yeah, she's
They-
just
they
like
indicate.
super inbred.
but like at the same time, I was like, why? I don't know.
Why any of these things
No,
ever?
so
Yeah,
I
it's-
did like the 80s flashback, which was super weird because I loved the stylized color of everything.
Oh yeah.
Like, because it was such a tone shift, and it showed him stalking one of his victims,
Right.
and then it ended, and I was like, that was more interesting to me than the Justin Long stuff. Like,
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, I get it.
I liked where he goes into the bathroom, unlocks the window, so now you know that's how he's gonna get in. But like, obviously, this isn't his first victim.
Right.
Like, so like, there's a story there that I kind of wish they went into, like a really cool serial killer story that they were just like, nope, generic.
I could live past him like kidnapping and like, you know, whatever with them to
But, like, if
inbreed
you-
them.
Suppose we
I get I kind of like you can just like, say that's an explanation,
Right.
Like I'm good.
but
Okay.
like suppose for this story you replace the Justin Long backstory and whatnot. Replace that with that. The guy's backstory. Like the house's backstory.
like start there, cut to that.
Right.
Maybe, but I like the Justin Long thing. I don't know.
And
I thought it was like it. The bit got like a little like overplayed at the end, but like him being like, "Oh shit, does this add to the square footage?" or whatever.
yeah.
He's in the
yeah.
basement.
Like, oh my god. Like, I feel like at first when he was like, "Oh shit," does it like there's comedic elements in there. I don't know how much of it is on purpose and how much of it is accidental. Like the hobo who dies, hysterical. I feel like that wasn't on purpose. Where he's like, "Oh no, I've been living here for like 10 years. She's never coming. Oh man, she just burst through the wall and ripped my arm off and started beating me with it." Like it was just so funny. Like I laughed hysterically at that scene, and I don't know if it was on purpose.
I think it's supposed to be on purpose.
I think so.
I think
too.
it's a ridiculous movie.
Yeah, like
Yeah, it
It's
definitely
not
has its
exactly a comedy, but it's not super serious either.
right, and like that hurts it for me.
Okay, that's fair.
For me, like I want it to pick the tone it wants to go with. Is it a super serious thriller horror, or is it like a black comedy? Like you brought up earlier, Slither.
James Gunn style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like which one are we going with? And I feel like the director's past leads him towards the dark comedy. And I feel like he would do better if it was that.
More. Okay. Okay.
Like I this is definitely a premise you can go a little over the top, like the hobo's death.
Right.
Like it's just it's so comical, it's cartoonish the way the guy dies. So like go from there. It's like there's the scene where she's thrown off the water tower,
Yes.
which is just like so like silly.
Well, yeah, because she only survives because she lands on the mother, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, like you
Well,
see
the mother jumps
Yeah, and,
over
like,
to
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right, to
fighters.
save her. Yeah.
right, like that whole scene is just so comical, which once again, I don't know
And
if
just
it's
the
on
long
purpose.
pushing her off.
Yeah, and then like trying to like be like, "Oh, but I was trying to hold on, but I accidentally let go," and like, "Oh, you weren't trying hard enough to hold on to me." Like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. So, it like, I want this to be a dark comedy because I'll say the peak of this, the ending of this movie, from like when the hobo dies on, is very comical. The problem is everything before that is not, and that's
Okay.
where it suffers for me.
I could differ from that. I think the introduction to Justin Long starts the dark comedy or the comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's very straight before that.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
very,
very,
intense
very
before
straight.
that, and then like it's just like the guy trying to reach for the bell, but Justin Long's like, I don't know what you want, just giving him literally everything but the bell.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know, It's a movie. It was fine.
How did you guys feel about the cops? Because
Well,
they pissed me off.
I mean, I feel like sure in Detroit area where it
But,
doesn't look as.
But she's like, I was just kidnapped. They're like, sure you were. Like, you're
well,
cops.
I mean,
At
obviously,
least-
cops they're like
at least-
prejudice. They're being prejudiced against the way she looks with like being in dirty demeanor.
I understand.
Yeah,
but,
like she looks like
yeah.
she's crazy.
Yeah, she
Right.
looks like she's
But
homeless
like
and just
at
throwing
that point,
it out.
it's just
Yeah.
like, all right, we're taking you to the station. That's all you got to do. Like, all right, she's obviously intoxicated.
Well, didn't she say somebody else was still there? So
Right, but they
taking
didn't
you to
believe
the
her.
station.
They didn't believe her. They just were like, the only thing we see here is that you broke this window.
See, cops should have at least, and I think they should have just at least went up to the door to see who's home and asked
Yeah.
for
But like,
verification.
all she had to do would be like, if I smash this window, how do I know the code to get the key?
I just
I don't
think
know.
in
I-
the moment, I
I
don't
just-
want to defend it. Look, this is the way it was presented. So
I did,
But people don't think of those things in the moment, though,
I guess,
either. You know?
but I just didn't like anything with the cops, like that whole sequence with the cops, and just like them being like, oh, we're needed elsewhere because like the city is like a giant war zone. So we can't spend time in this district that we're spending time in right now. We got to go other places.
I mean, in truth, shouldn't they be spending time in that district? Right?
Like if somebody comes up to you and is like, "Hey, I was kidnapped for like maybe a week or two and I just escaped. I need help." And they're just like,
if
I don't
you're
think it's
crazy.
exactly.
if you're a cop too, you would provide a little bit, or you would get a little bit of like, not judgment, but like the hair tingle on the back of your neck, where there are 30 houses on the street, 29 of them are broken down and dilapidated with no lights on, but
And
this one looks like perfect, manicured lawn.
Right.
You know,
Be like,
all this other
something's
stuff.
up with this house.
Right? You'd have something.
But even
to
that's like
question.
not realistic though either. Like it's just kind of I don't know, aren't horror movies always in this kind of nightmarish, like it kind of doesn't make sense if you think about it too
God,
much.
yeah.
Right, but
It's-
so the way that this movie would differ from a typical horror movie is the cop would be like, "You're right. Let me go in alone. I'm not
Right.
going to radio for backup. I'll be right back." And then boom, they die.
Yeah, but you've
Yeah,
seen that a
typical
thousand
horror
times.
movies,
Exactly.
the
Yeah,
cops would
that's what
die,
I mean.
yeah.
Like the typical movie is that, but like they didn't even have to introduce the cops in this movie. Like take that all out. Like have her get saved by.
I think it adds a little bit though, because then it's like, well, why wouldn't you just call the cops? It's like, well, we called the cops, and that's what happened.
Yeah, I don't know.
Look, I got nothing.
It's I didn't
else.
think it was a waste of my time. It was very quick in and out.
It was.
Which
it was
hey,
okay.
I will grade things on so much of a scale if they're 90 minutes, if they're sub like one
Right?
100-minute movies.
I'm slowly starting to feel like my ratings are being adjusted for that.
right. Like
Right,
if you're going
it's
over
just-
2.5, I'm docking you like 5 points like every 10 minutes.
It's just I know I rated the Menu high, but it's also like a long movie.
No, it's not.
Is it?
Menu?
No,
I thought the menu
that was
was
like
It was like an hour
145.
45.
Oh, was it? Oh.
Yeah,
It's
that's
super
why-
short.
Then I'm thinking of something else. Then
Probably are.
You mean the one where
I mean,
they're at a restaurant?
no.
Yeah,
It
147.
could have been another menu. Another
Did
movie
you
I
watch The
saw.
Invitation?
Did you watch Babylon?
No, I didn't. You told me not to.
Yeah.
I listened to the soundtrack for Babylon. That
It's
was
good.
noisy.
It's kind of good.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
Have
why
you
it's not
seen
right.
the Yeah, I almost want to show you the end of that movie.
No. All right.
We need ratings. So I gave it a 7-1.
What is this? This is 2022, right?
Is it still
Yeah,
2022?
I was sticking with the 6.8. I'm not changing that.
All right.
I'm gonna go solid 7, which for me is like a horror 9.
Yeah. You rate horror pretty low.
All right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we're all in this kind of the same boat for this
right.
movie. So
Yeah,
it's not bad.
again, we spent 20 minutes being like, "You're so fucking wrong," and then we're like 0.2 different.
Right.
Yeah. All right. All right. So let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Next week we'll hopefully be doing Ant-Man
Oh god.
and whatever the rest of the title of that movie.
Quantum Mania.
Real quick,
Yep.
where are we feeling going into Ant-Man?
Not good.
Mediocre.
Just like how much longer? When can we get off the ride?
You know what? I've asked that question when I saw the Fast 10 trailer. So I guess that's going to be the theme of 2023 movies for me. Anyway, if you like all of our episodes, you can find them on Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, all the streaming services for free. If you want to send us a message on Facebook, facebook.com/nightsandnerditude, tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. I'm interested in one particular person's thoughts on Barbarian, actually. That does
You
it for
could
us
just
for this week.
reference them by name.
Hey, he's a guest of the show. That does it for us this week. Until next time.
Adios.